Spirit Sports Consultants presents
NFL Week 3 all game picks against the spread. This is our second video. First was our forecasted scores early on. Now we had a chance to look at the lines. Now we give you our picks. Let's start off with the Thursday night game here being played tonight. Giants at the 49ers. We forecast a revised score of 49ers 28-14. Poor Giants have no luck losing Saquon Barkley. We wonder how they're going to generate offense. The 49ers will likely take it easy on them, but they'll still cover that spread. Get it down to 9.5. Plus, this is a primetime game. Look for the under here. We like the 45 number for the under. We felt good about our picks last week, except, ironically, the game in which we attended. We feel like we might have been biased by being there with a bunch of Jaguars fans, and it was one of the worst games ever. No offense, ugly, which sets us up for the pick for the Jaguars and the Texans game. We look at two good defenses here and two maybe middling offenses, which gives us the forecast of Jaguars 24, Texans 10. As we sat there in the North Florida heat, we saw two things with the Jags, both leading itself towards an under. We saw some really questionable play calling, a passing offense that really couldn't move the ball, very inaccurate throws from Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he had a couple in the end zone, just missed them. And the Texans have a stout pass defense. Their rush defense struggled against running Anthony Richardson, who was hard to scheme against. We think their pass defense can slow Lawrence down, and the Jags defense should be able to slow down C.J. Stroud. So we really look at the under for this play. Titans at the Browns. This might be the most evenly matched games of all, considering the Nick Chubb injury. Look at the Titans that have a very good rush defense, and that's exactly what the Browns want to do with or without Nick Chubb. And then the Titans going up against the fierce Cleveland pass defense. We like the Browns in a bounce-back game. This is not one we have strong conviction for. We're going to go with the home team here, but we really like the under. We think the defense is here, plays to their strengths, like I just said. You've got a passing team with Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. In addition to having Derrick Henry, the Titans' rush defense is tops in the NFL, absolute number one, and the Browns have a top 5 pass defense. So we believe the combination of those two factors, in addition, they're playing on a slower grass surface. We think the under is the only play here. We don't recommend a side. Looking at the Steelers and the Raiders, again, the Steelers with that thrilling victory over the Browns at home on Monday night, having to go on the road to Vegas. We like the Raiders in a bounce back here, 31-24. I think Jimmy G and that offense is going to do enough. A little concerned about the Raiders' defense. We want to watch that here. And are the Steelers' defense, are they finally coming into form? We will see. But for this game, we like the Raiders at home in Vegas. Quick question. Any of you guys out there had the Bucs at 2-0 at this point in the season? Neither did we, and we think they might go to 3-0 here with a upset victory over the Eagles. We really think that Baker is firing on all cylinders. We haven't seen the Eagles at 100% yet, and we think this might be the game they potentially overlook. So we're going to be contrarian here, take the Bucs in an upset. Having just been to the Jags-Chiefs game, we think that the extreme heat played a role in that game being so, let's just say, boring. So we're going to call for the under here as well. We like Tampa and the points and the under for this game. Looking for the Bucs upset. For a 2-0 team, we really have not been impressed by the Saints offense. We like the Packers in this one at home against the Saints coming off a Monday night game, back-to-back road games. We just think that Jordan Love is better. We think the Saints are going to peak maybe midseason, but we haven't seen it yet on the offensive side of the ball. However, pass defense has been great, so we see a low-scoring game here, 21-17. Best ways to play this game, we recommend taking GB money line and then look for the under 43. We got a turf team going on the road, face a grass opponent. Saints haven't put up many points, and their pass defense is great. Patriots at the Jets. Patriots look pretty good against the Dolphins on Sunday night. We think the Jets are going to control the ball here with a running game, and we don't think that Zach will make as many mistakes as he did in his last game against the Cowboys against that fierce pass defense. And for our game right here in South Florida, Denver at Miami. Ladies, what do you think?
We love the Miami Dolphins.
And I would agree. I like the Dolphins here, 28-17. This could be an interesting game being in South Florida. Look for an under. Miami -6. Again, I've mentioned the Florida weather. But beyond the weather, you have two factors. You have a solid pass defense for the Broncos, and you have Miami's defensive coordinator and former Broncos head coach facing his old team. And as we're about halfway through the games, we want to just remind you of our weekly NFL video schedule. We're starting to get a regular pattern here. Sunday, 11 o'clock Eastern, we're going to release our weekly all-game picks. That's our rough estimates, our score forecast. Then Thursday p.m., a little before the Thursday night game, we're going to do all-game picks against the spread. Then our final video is going to be Saturday p.m. We have final updates, line movements, weather, injuries. So please subscribe and set notifications to get all of these. We thank you for your support. And now back to the games. We've got the LA Chargers going on the road to face the Minnesota Vikings. Another stunner, who saw the Chargers and Vikings both at 0-2 at this point in the season? I didn't. But we're going to go with the Vikings 27-20, considering they're at home. I think the Chargers are struggling, especially on defense. Surprised they lost to the Titans on the road last week. We're going to go with the Vikings here, 27-20. Best plays for this one, we had looked at that over, but 54 is a little bit too high. I like Minnesota money line. As someone who's been burnt by a couple of 1-point losses, let's not mess around with the spread. Let's take Minnesota money line on this one. We've always liked Lamar Jackson. We weren't sure what to make of the Ravens this season. We feel that after the Bengals game, they are a clear AFC power. We rank them second in the AFC. There are multiple injuries that are a concern, but right now we have them 1A and 1B with the Chiefs for the AFC, and we like the Ravens here 24-14. We think this will be a lower scoring game. Anthony Richardson should not play due to him being in the concussion protocol. Best place for us, we like the under 45. We see the Ravens putting up points, but the Colts not so much. But the Colts defense isn't too bad either. So we really like the under 45 in this game. Next, we have the Cowboys at the Cardinals and what could be the number 1 team versus against the number 32. Depending on how you look at the power rankings, we have the Cowboys, Eagles, and Niners right up there, 1, 2, 3. We had originally said this would be a 38-17 game. Got a couple comments saying that was giving the Cardinals too much credit. We think they might be right. Cardinals don't have much to play for. They've lost Budda Baker. They're struggling on offense. We're going to go with a 38-10 score on this one. While we think the Cowboys' defense is spectacular, we think they're limited a little bit on offense. Struggled a little bit last week with Brandon Cooks out. Hopefully, if he's back, they're going to have that dynamic passing offense. Watch that closely to see if they're one of the top 3 teams, along with the Eagles and the Niners. For us, seeing Patrick Mahomes in person gave us a greater level of respect than we even had before. We like the Chiefs here, 31-21. We still think you take the line, KC minus 12. Maybe include this in a teaser, but I don't see any way they're going to stop Patrick Mahomes. The Bears are really a mess right now, so go with the Chiefs on this one. While we believe Bryce Young's going to be good, he's definitely been playing like a rookie, and it's not going to get better playing in front of that tough Seattle crowd. We like the Seahawks hosting the Panthers 28-14. We don't know who the Seahawks are yet. Are they the team that got beaten by the Rams at home or the ones that beat the Lions on the road? I think we're going to see more of the positive here. We think this could be a surprisingly great matchup. The Bills at Washington. We like the Bills here in a close one. We think if you have to pick between Josh Allen and Sam Howell, you're going to have to go with Josh Allen. The key here for him, turnovers. If he can play like he did last week, great. Plays like he did against the Jets, go Commanders. And while we like the Bills to win this game because of Josh Allen, we don't understand why they're 7-point favorites on the road. So we're going to have to take the dog on this one. Commanders plus the 7 points. Talking about turnovers, if there's any defense that can create it, a Ron Rivera defense can definitely do that. So look for the Commanders to cover here. We've got ATL going on the road against the Lions. We think the Lions bounce back here 27-21. We think the Falcons are going to get there. We have not yet been impressed by their offense. We said last week we love the weapons that they have surrounding Desmond Ridder. We think the better quarterback wins here, Jared Goff. Get that speed going. Lions 27-21. Goff needs to avoid that ATL secondary. They're playing great. And several people noticed that we did not include this game in our initial video because we didn't really know what Burrow's status was. But currently, we don't expect him to play. We think they would be wise to rest him. Honestly, even with Burrow, we think this game would have been interesting. But without him, we're definitely going to take the Rams plus 3. How many of you out there got burnt by the Rams covering the spread late against the 49ers?
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.